Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. Now, as promised, folks, we have on the phone line here United States Senator, but you better call him Coach Tommy Tuberville. Coach, how you doing this afternoon?
Happy New Year, Joy, and everybody there in the river area. It's good to be on.
Yeah, good to have you on. And real quick before we get into some of the big issues, this week for 1819 News, I wrote about how Alabama needs to make swatting a felony here in our great state. I know that happened to your family recently. Everybody all right? What was that like?
Yeah, no, they brought out the SWAT team in Auburn and closed the street down. I think the people in the neighborhood got a little nervous, but it's just typical wackos. I deal with them every day in Washington, D.C., and this was, I think, a Google call over the internet, and they can't catch people doing that. It's just unfortunate. But like you said, it is against the law, but nobody's ever punished. Heck, you can do anything in this country now and not get punished unless you're a Republican.
Yeah, that's the thing. You got to challenge the Democrats, then they'll really put you in prison. It's amazing to see whether you're a president or anybody else for that matter.
Yeah. President Trump's got 91 charges against him. And it's just unfortunate how this whole thing's going, but it'll get all straightened out. I will tell people across the country that, and people there in our area, that this next 10 months is going to be interesting. I think the creatures will come out, and Democrats are going to do everything possible to keep the Senate, get the House back, and obviously get somebody elected president. I don't know who I guess they're pushing Nikki Haley now. My understanding is a lot of Democrats are getting on her side, but that's fine. President Trump's going to win, and we need somebody that's going to fight for the people.
Now, and one big issue that President Trump changed the conversation on is the border. And my goodness, I think it was over 250,000 people just last month, into the month of December. What the heck is going on? Like, how? I don't know. I don't even know what my question is, because I look at Mayorkas, I look at all these folks, and I just want to, start yelling at them.
Well, Mayorkas claims that climate change is caused. No, these people are nuts. Climate is not a hoax. We can't affect the climate. But they run on things that you can't really prove unless you really dig down deep. But the border's a shame. I've been down there several times, and they're not going to do anything. Right now, we got the Rhino Republicans in the Senate supposedly working out a deal with them to do something at the border. And as I tell every day, I said, listen, they're holding the taxpayers hostage, $100 billion in Ukraine, or they're not going to do anything at the border. I mean, the American people ought to see what's going on here. They're holding the American people hostage. But even if they did come to a deal, Joy, say put 6 or 7 more laws on the books, they don't go by the laws anyway. And they'll break every one of them just to get $100 billion to either stick in their pocket or Zelensky's pocket and keep this supposedly war going. It's not ever going to be won by Ukraine. It's just a money grab.
It really is a shame to watch. And you got to wonder, what's the cost to the nation now that all these, it's probably millions of folks have gotten in from all over the world. I mean, I'm thinking of local school districts. I'm thinking of hospitals. I'm thinking of all of our public infrastructure is now taking all this in. And I believe you have a bill to protect VA benefits from any sort of this ballyhoo going to illegals, right?
Yeah, I'm on the VA committee, and we passed billions of dollars to help our veterans. And I'll give you this little stat here, Joey. We got 22 million veterans, and we have the biggest healthcare system in the world for the VA. But they can only attend to 11 million because they stay booked and depressed, and they're union. And so what happens? You can't get rid of the bad ones. You have to keep them, and so it's just unfortunate that our veterans, they do what they do. We owe them everything we can give them. But now what they're doing, the Biden administration, is using doctors and community care areas all over the country to service and give health care to these illegal immigrants. And so that makes the lines even longer. So before we left for Christmas, I put a bill out. Of course, Schumer's not going to do anything to it, or with it. He has to bring it to the floor. But I'm trying to bring it to light of what these crazies are doing. I mean, they're spending money. Number one, we don't have. We spent $500 billion in the last 3 years taking care of these illegal immigrants. But they don't care about this country. They just trying to put it in a situation where, we're turning into a socialist country. Now, this all started under Obama, and he basically forced Europe to take all these Syrians and refugees over in Europe and Germany and France and Italy, and it's ruined their country. They have no control of their country now because all these immigrants are running the show, don't go by the laws, they don't assimilate. We're going to do the same thing here. I mean, again, this is Obama, Biden, transition this country into something else. And so American people got to see what's going on, because if we don't change direction in November of next year, we're done for. We are absolutely done for.
And again, folks, we're talking to United States Senator Tuberville, Coach Tuberville, if you know him a little bit. And, just kind of digging a little bit how the Senate works. Because, you're seeing all these New Year headlines from the likes of Politico and other Beltway rags that are saying things to the effect of that Schumer is really looking forward to getting things done this year. But when I hear that sort of talk, we're going to get things done, I usually, pardon me, think I'm about to get screwed.
Oh, you definitely are. Anytime he opens his mouth, he breaks the law. These people don't go or understand or want to go by the Constitution. They want a new Constitution. That's what they're trying to do. And so they're trying to get enough people in this country where they can change the voting apparatus in terms of Texas, number one. If they ever control Texas, the Democrats will be a socialist communist country in 10 years. So that's what this is all about. They want a one world government. I guess Obama wants to be the president of the world, to be honest with you. He's behind all this along with Biden and all their lackeys. I see it every day. People go, this can't be true. Coach has been up there. He hadn't been a politician. I'm a veteran politician. I've been through everything in my first 3 years, and I've seen an absolute joke of what this country is turning into, from our education to our military, FBI, CIA, and we're $34 trillion in debt. Our roads ought to be made of gold,
right,
for how much money we spent. But most of this money is going to climate change.
Right, a problem that can't really be solved, so we have to just perpetually keep trying to solve it, right, with other people's money. Just amazing. I want to say thank you to the votes you did, I believe, on the NDAA, and, pushing back, wanting to, I believe, strip out the so-called FISA reauthorization. I know you were one of the yes votes there, and I really do appreciate that. And
well, yeah, that NDAA is very important to all of our country, not just Alabama, and it's the budget for our military. I tried to hold up on a lot of these woke generals and stuff, but even the rhino Republicans went around me trying to change the rules. They don't like anybody fighting back on the Democrats, but I'm going to keep fighting back. But, the FISA, the warrants that they've been able to do after 9/11, going after normal citizens, I mean, it's just another power grab, Joy, by the federal government, and we don't need that.
We really don't. And, they always say up in Washington, at least from where I'm sitting at this humble perch here in Alabama, that, we just ran out of time with the normal budgeting process. So I think we're still working off spending levels Senator Shelby and Senator Leahy put up there on the way out the door as they retired. Are we ever going to have an actual budget? And do these excuses hold water? We just ran out of time to do normal budgeting, so we have to do another big omnibus spending bill.
Yeah, and that's what they've done for years, Joey. We've got an appropriations committee, but it hadn't functioned. This year they've tried to do a little something, but again, when you've got a Democratic leader in the Senate, it doesn't make any difference. He's going to put what he wants to on the plate. He wants another omnibus. That's the reason that we're still kicking the can down the road with a Republican speaker like Mike Johnson. Now, I think he's going to hold up for the American people. He needs to. I'm inclined right now to shut the government. If they don't close this border, it's not going to make any difference whether they have a budget or not. All the money is going to go to illegal immigrants. So we have got to have some kind of authority in terms of shutting this spigot off to all this money that the American taxpayers are spending, and we don't have it. And people don't realize, taxes are going to go sky high, when we got to pay this bill, and it's just unfortunate. people sitting back and enjoying a pretty good time right now if you've got a pretty good job. But only time will tell on all these taxes that the American people are going to have to pay this debt.
Now, before I let you go, has there been any breakthroughs on protecting Title IX, on protecting women's sports, essentially?
We're having a big meeting tomorrow down in South Georgia. People are coming from all over the country. We're going to talk about this and visit with it. It just shows to show you, where this group stands when they want men to play in women's sports. And we're the feminists. We're the feminist groups that actually got Title IX done 50 years ago. Now we got a different group wanting to just destroy Title IX. It's amazing to me how all this is working. But it just goes to show you, where the Democrats stand on any issue, especially social issues. And, we have got to get control of how we're doing things right now through the federal government with our military. It's becoming so woke, we're not even going to have a military. We got people getting out right and left because of things that are being taught. And it just, heaven forbid, what's being taught in our higher education and our schools with all these broken unions that we have all over the country.
Yeah, it really is. It's like almost everything is flashing warning red lights right now on the big things and even smaller issues that still, I think, show an upheaval of our values. And they're destroying our money and destroying our values at the same time. And it's frustrating to watch. I hate reporting on, at least in my own way, the decline of a great nation.
Yeah, next 10 months are going to be very interesting, Joy. Next 10 months there's going to be a lot of arguing and poking fingers and going through things that this country shouldn't have to go through. If we'd all just become Americans, don't worry about race or religion or wealth. You've got opportunities here, opportunities that you don't have in any other country, and we're trying to ruin that. And unfortunately, they're pushing all this racism. So racism is a attitude. Okay, I dealt with kids all my life.
Yeah.
I never looked at it. I was colorblind. Hey, I didn't care who you were because I had to win games. And that's what we have to do in this country. We can't worry about anything other than people doing their own job, whether I don't care who they are. Be an American, go by the Constitution, go by the law, work hard, and you can achieve anything you want. But this group of Democrats wants to give everybody something and point out racism. There has been racism. But we need to get away from that. We need to get back to the attitude of being an American. I don't care who you are.
Amen, sir. Amen. Well, Coach, I appreciate the time as always. Best of luck. And you're right. What a year it's going to be here this next 10 months. Thank you, sir.